Okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit about things that I figured out. Try and practice in different diets. So I started with paleo. I went to vegan for a year. I went to keto for 2 years, and then I've moved on to carnivore diet, eating mostly meat, a small amount of vegetables, and a small amount of fruit with some honey. But that's that. I mean, the only thing I eat is dark chocolate every so often, and that's my target. That's my game plan. It doesn't always go like that, but that's my game plan. That's my baseline. So when you're eating meat, you can fuck about a bit. But my problem with the other diets, keto is grand, but you see, the science and the methods of doing keto is so new and fresh that people are learning from trial and error. So if you want the biggest bang for your buck, just go straight carnivore, and you'll get most of what you need from keto, because you slip in and out of ketosis, and you won't have to limit your meat, because it'll throw you out of ketosis. So that's what I found out from going from keto to carnivore. Eat tons of meat. Don't mind gluconeogenesis, where your body turns fat or turns protein into sugars, into glucose, or glycogen. So going back again to vegan, avoid the vegan diet, because it's not the most of the science promoters of the vegan diet use are outdated by about 40 years. And we know now that through history and archaeology that ancient hominids actually became extinct from going strictly to plant, because when we came out of the trees, our colon got smaller, and we're not able to ferment vegetables as well as we would have as primates. So you won't get all the fats and the proteins that you think you might get out of vegetables. It's not as bioavailable. You'll wear down your body. What the benefits from plants I can see is the polyphenols and the flavonoids and stuff like that help kind of switch on these anti-inflammatory switches in your body that kind of put your body in a kind of restorative state. But they can already be switched on by it's called hormesis, molecular hormesis, but you can do that from environmental hormesis, coming from cold exposure, exercise, all these things to do the same thing as eating vegetables. But if you cut out vegetables altogether, you can if your body's in eating meat, just primarily meat, your body goes into a state of ketosis, goes into a natural state of high performance, and rejuvenate. Being in a state of ketosis has blown scientists away at how effective it is at mitigating most of the diseases we have today, and which are caused from inflammation. Ketosis reduces inflammation, so that's your game plan. Whereas some with plants and doing the vegan diet, the inflammation is the signaling coming from the plants to trigger your body to go into an anti-inflammatory defense. So what you're gaining from carnivore is just a normal state. Your body should be doing that anyway. With plants, you're not doing that, and you're causing more stress than anything, especially with your gut and your colon. It's gonna tear you up, and with digestion, any vegan can tell you that they don't have a good time going to the toilet. They have a lot of wind. It's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to have a clean colon, feel light, not bloated. This is a healthy digestive system, and you'll only get that from doing straight up carnivore, eating meat. And you get all the nutrients, the micronutrients, the macronutrients, you get all that from meat, organ meats. You get all the benefits from plants, from meat, and more, because you have all the bioavailable collagen, you have the bioavailable amino acids and stuff that you just can't find in plants, let alone plants being less bioavailable. So paleo, I think everybody should be paleo anyway. Not eating, just avoiding all the grains. Grains just tear you up, and they're so polluted with glyphosate and different types of herbicides that your gut microbes are just going to freak out, and they're going to cause cognitive issues and mental issues, especially depression and all that, and anxiety, and the rise of autism in kids, and newborn babies and that. So you want to try and limit all the plant foods is the most toxic stuff, no matter what, even naturally, organically, whatever. You're not going to get the bang for your buck. You want to just be focused more on meat. This comes from my experience. I've done them all these diets. I've seen that being on a vegan diet doesn't really change much. It doesn't help. Your skin looks a bit better. You have more energy. You can meditate better. They're the pros I can see. But I don't think nature really gives a fuck if your skin looks well. Meditating, I think that just comes from being being in a fasted state with the vegan diet. So it's very interesting. That's my story. Avoid the vegan propaganda. I know there's celebrities and people out there promoting veganism, and usually after about 3 years, people see serious fucking health issues. I only got a year. Because I was training really hard. I was fighting in kickboxing, and I injured myself several times. A broken nose. It was fractures were so much more easier to happen. You know, I was very vulnerable, and I lost a lot of weight, lost a lot of muscle. And I used to say to people that argued the vegan diet that was no good for you, I used to say it's just because you're not doing it right. I was the one that used to say that. So I used to tell people that you're just not doing it right, you know. I used to say all these things, and I was completely oblivious to the negative effects. That was because I had been fed this information that a plausible philosophy about veganism, you know, but it's not backed up by science, especially recent science. They can't replicate what the philosophy is promoting, you know. So best bet number 4 is vegan. If you have cancer, go vegan because you want to starve the cancer out of you. If you have cancer, go vegan and be in a state of ketosis, ketogenic, vegan diet in ketosis or keto vegan. But other than that, if you want to maintain your health, if you want to try and make sure that you're not going to get disease, be in ketosis, get into a state of ketosis at least around winter time. Definitely winter time. During the year, then you can play around with carbs, and especially when you're in ketosis, don't be afraid of carbs. Use carbs as well in the evenings. But just try and live your life as close to what nature intended. How you would see a fox or any sort of animal in the wild living their day with the similar metabolism, similar whatever. They've actually seen a post there that they've realized from fossils of ancient hominids or Homo erectus or whatever, they've seen that they actually hibernated during winter, which is pretty fascinating, that they were able to go into a state of deep sleep. So it makes sense how people, like, it's not really what people eat during Christmas. I think it's just our body's natural way of just slowing down, especially with the sun, the weather, the different seasons, the northern southern hemispheres. So there are just things that I've discovered over the years and kind of rationally or that sound reasonable to me. I've tested them out myself. Makes sense. I feel the best physically eating copious amounts of meat and eating organ foods, and my joints feel fuller. I don't feel like this idea of wear and tear as you get older. I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm doing the opposite. I feel like I'm building my body constantly, and it will take a while to feel the full effects. But carnivore is the best way to go, or even kind of carnivore. You just eat copious amounts of meat with your vegetables or fruit. And even if you're fucking about, if you're eating just a poor diet, just make sure you pack in the meat. Just pile in the meat. Organ meats, livers, hearts, kidneys, whatever you can find at your butchers or wherever, or your local abattoir or whatever. It's very cheap food, because nobody's eating it. So that's it. 10 minutes of video. Take notes and see how you get on, and let me know what you think yourself of these different diets or your own experience of them. So that's it. Have a good one.